Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dribbz Talks podcast. We're bringing it to you real, raw and uncut. A safe place where we can talk about anything and everything. So like, share and subscribe. But most importantly, keep it locked. Everything's gonna be just fine. Everything's gonna be okay. Just take one step at a time. That's what the leaflets say.
This is the Undercover Hippie, and you're listening to the Dribbz Talks podcast on YouTube and Spotify.
Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Dribbz Talks, the podcast where we look at society's most influential individuals and services, bring them into the hot seat to learn all about the amazing things they're doing for our community right here in the heart of Telford. Now, tonight, I'm joined by Laura and Blaine, who represent Yellow Ribbon at Telford and Shropshire Charity, serving those who want to put their past behind them and look to a brighter future. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you, Dribbz, for inviting us.
How
I'll
you
get
doing?
your name right in
It's
a minute,
all right. It's all
Dribbz.
good. I get called lots of names. I go by many different names, so don't you worry about that.
Okay.
How you doing today? You right?
Yeah, we're good. It's
Yeah.
been very sunny on the weekend, so we're very pleased about that.
And the weather soon changes. How you doing, Blaine?
Yeah, it could be worse. Not a bad day, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Absolutely. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Nice. Let's jump into it. Let's go. So, guys, it's a pleasure to have you join me in the hot seat tonight, and I want to thank you both for coming down. Firstly, for my listeners who may never heard of yourselves, could you give them a brief introduction of who you are and what your role is within Yellow Ribbon?
Hi, so I'll start. So I'm Laura Holly, and I've got the privilege of being the Community Development Lead for Yellow Ribbon up at Halfway House. So Halfway House is, as it says, it's actually near on halfway on the Wrekin. And the aim is to provide the opportunity for members of the public to pop into the pavilion and also our cafe kiosk up there. But the real action is around developing a youth programme for our young people to unlock their potential and achieve their aspirations, working with good people like yourself, Dribbz, and also Ben Butler, who I know has been interviewed by you as well. So all in all, it's about making creative opportunities, people coming along, having fun, and just exciting in the natural outdoors.
Amazing. Fantastic. What about yourself then, Blaine? What role do you play within Yellow Ribbon?
Well, I look after the house of the grounds and then help Laura with the events and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone needs a chat where they're coming up, I don't mind.
It's a
I'll
big,
engineer.
it's a huge responsibility looking
of
after the
course.
grounds, mate.
Yeah, no, I don't mind.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love
Up
it
for the
there.
challenge?
Yeah.
You've proved yourself many times. I'm sure you
yeah.
have. So, Laura, this question's for you. What made you first want to get into this field of work, and have you previously worked in similar roles in the past?
Well, I've just got a passion for our community, and to be able to empower people maybe not so fortunate as ourselves at times, to be able to be in that with commissioning with local authorities, Telford and Wrekin Council, Staffordshire County Council, and now really I'm at the grassroots in the charitable situation to be able to provide, particularly my passion is around young people, and to be able to ensure that they got the access to places like Halfway House, which is safe, but also provide them guidance and support to ensure that they have a fun-filled life and to be able to get benefit and outcomes for meeting us up there and providing guidance and the right way for them, as well as a bit of music, entertainment, arts and light stuff.
You guys really are catering for a lot of different things, and I love the passion that you've got, Laura. Like, genuinely, you can see the passion. It kind of radiates from you, which is amazing, you know. It's not a front, it's not a fake, you know, this is real. And yeah, I just think you're doing an amazing thing, and that's why it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the Dribbz Talks podcast.
Thank you.
So, doing my research on you guys, I found that Yellow Ribbon is firstly situated at the beautiful Halfway House on one of Shropshire's biggest landmarks, the Wrekin. How long has it been since Yellow Ribbon took residence in this property?
So that's last June. So what happened in 2024, Pauline Mack, the CEO, and the trustee, Paul Bell, put some funding application together for HM government funding, and we've been awarded that as Yellow Ribbon, and that was the big start. And then I came on afterwards in September. of 2024, and then Blaine joined me in that in about November, and then we've been going ever since, actually being able to develop the house itself, the grounds, community events for all.
Dream team, absolute dream team. What was the state of the property like before Yellow Ribbon purchased it?
Well, it was in private hands initially, but there was always lots to add. So I don't know, Blaine, do you want to add to that as to what needed to be done?
When I first come up, it was a bit bland and that, but then Laura is just absolutely, with a little magic touch, it just transformed it really. She tells me what to do, I'll do it.
And you're the upkeep, aren't you? I love that. I love the way it's kind of been transformed, because, you know, at one stage, for me, from what I know, the halfway house, the future seemed quite bleak. So it's amazing that, you know, you guys have landed in here and you're active. It's not like you're in your own lane. You know, you're keen to reach out to everyone, which is absolutely amazing. Now, what I will say in response to this is, like, the halfway house, like I said, to me, it was looking for new ownership, and we didn't know how long this was going to last. So this worthwhile service has took over this property to provide and maintain focus on prevention and well-being in the community. How does it feel for you to take on this stunning property in such a rural but popular area for Shropshire and surrounding?
Well, we're so privileged and honoured, and we can do lots of good work up there. And we started with keeping the connections with the community themselves. We're very aware that this presence of the house is actually with the public. There's lots of people that come up there, 200,000 visitors a year, and we make it available to them to be able to drop in the pavilion there. I've got some art that's been developed with our local artist Carish Jackson, and that was about people's memories and connections with the Wrekin, and we keep that on a daily open with people being able to drop in, put their hearts and messages, particularly of remembrance as well, of their loved ones, so we can see that. And then as we've developed, we've also included Leo Loco, and he's very much present in providing circus skills, interaction with our children and young people and families, and we have regular family days now and leading into a summer programme. But very importantly, passion, youth passion. We're now really working hard with new generation, Ben Butler, and including people like yourself, Dribbz. As you know, you've got an act on Saturday the 24th.
I have. We're going to push that a little later in the podcast.
So all being well, it's just to be there, encourage people to come along, and then Blaine's there as well, particularly now and again to have a general chat with people and what's going on.
Yeah, that's right. When Laura first asked me to come up, she told me all about it, and wow, what she's trying to do up there, you can't beat it, can
you can't, no.
You know what I mean? That's what people need. That
they do.
They need an escape.
Absolutely.
And the passion Laura's got for succeeding up there, you can't say no more.
No, and the Wrekin, like, to many people, it holds lots of different memories. And not only getting to the top of the Wrekin, but the halfway house, is dropping by for a brew and whatnot. I mean, my next door neighbour right here, she was actually born at Halfway House. Her family actually resided at Halfway House.
Wow.
I often talk to her about it. She recalls like the swinging boat swings from back in the day, and like where the cattle were up on there. And her and her four sisters actually grew up and was born in the Halfway House, which is just amazing to me.
It's amazing.
So how do you think the Halfway House aligns with your broader mission and the needs of the community in Telford?
Well, the Halfway House itself presents different room areas for people, and it supports the development of the cafe kiosks that we've got. So, as you said, people can come along up there, and we know that they are really part of that, starting to develop a Halfway House families type of setting, even in the grounds. So people and their families just come along, and we're open every Saturday and Sunday, particularly Terry's up there, Sue, and all the rest of the youth team, just to be able to drop in and say hello. But the bigger plans are the community pavilion, where we have specific events and actually develop particular themes out of those events that go on. So the idea is then over the summer encouraging more people, I think this is Blaine's term, to spend summer at Halfway House. So we're very much open to that, and then see what happens. And just to finalise on that, what we do encourage people just to have a look with their own eyes and ears, and we develop opportunities with them how they can be part of it. An example is working with one of our agencies, TACT, very much into supporting mental health and recovery. And Alex Graham, part of that, did the 24-hour and 7 Wrekin walks and sponsorships and stuff.
Amazing. Now, being located on the Wrekin, does the natural environment play a role in recovery or healing, do you think? And are there like wellness walks, outdoor activities or therapeutic gardening programs that you offer?
Yeah, so we've started to include some regular walks. So the next one will be Thursday in the half-term week. And it's Rob Frackrell, who's Heritage Explorer is his role title, created for him. So he does photography and such, but also taking in that natural outdoors. And he includes a bit about history and heritage. Just like to share that, though, with Blaine, because we're very lucky to work up there. We have said about how it helps us with our spirit and well-being on the start of a day.
No, but that's it. When you're out in the wilderness, man, it's something else, and it
really is.
I don't know what it is. Even the birds sing. It's absolutely immense for your mental health, I think.
It is. I can't stress it enough. Like, it's little things, isn't it? Like, I deal with a lot of mental health from day to day, and like, you know, this Dribbz, this music artist, I say this to everyone, it's a mask. It's a mask that I put on, and it doesn't matter if I'm having a bad day. When I get in that music and that zone, it's an escapism for a little bit. And you can find that with nature. Literally, just getting the dog lead and taking the dogs for a walk, like, it clears your head so much.
Well, that's what it's about. It's about just relaxing, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's immense for your mental health and stuff like
that. Definitely, Blaine. How does the halfway house serve as a bridge between the prison system and the community reintegration?
Yeah, so Yellow Ribbon itself has 2 parts to it. So in terms of the reintegration of people that are exiting prison, we have a crisis aspect to the service, and that's very much separate to Halfway House, and it's supported by good people that then are listening to people as individuals and how they need to be settled back in the community to have their own individual stories and their life journeys. On the Halfway House aspect, it's very much about that well-being and prevention. We have support from good people that have lived in experience to share, because what I'm finding is sometimes these mentors are able to interact and be able to provide guidance that some other professionals might not be able to do, because some of these young people now and generally the life challenges in society are getting so pressured, they're able to provide information to support them deal with those issues. Mm-hmm. So we've got things like Ben will have said about identity crisis, mental health awareness, well-being, you've touched on as well, but a lot of that information that can be provided by others as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's what you call it as well. If you've got lived experience, you can give someone advice. It might not help him, but you never know, because if that lad's already come through it, it's an inspiration.
Exactly,
really,
Blaine. I often say this. You can do years of university, you can come out with paperwork, but if you haven't got that lived experience, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah. Just wanted to add to that, the other element that we're doing is where some children and young people can't actually concentrate so well in mainstream education. So we're embarking on developing programs where I call it a washing line, really, with lots of different coloured pegs on it. And those different coloured pegs are different people that I've worked with over a number of years, often like artists, like Harris, like Leo, and different realms of, we're looking at forestry, but just a different area of different skills that can provide that social ability, different ways of learning, and pulling that together. Really want to promote support for those in home education, and also those parents as well, for those that are home educated, to provide some kind of peer group aspect to that as well. So that is a driving force as well, to be able to provide that natural environment, just to people to be able to experience that in that outdoor setting.
Love that, Laura. Love that. So looking back at previous articles related to Yellow Ribbon, I noticed that at the start of the year, the Wrekin Wellness Summit was launched as a partnership with Telford and Wrekin Council and the NHS Shropshire. And within the time, Yellow Ribbon promoted the Do It For campaign, encouraging Wrekin attendees to make a healthy Telford pledge, whereby they set personal health goals and take actionable steps towards achieving them. Now, this consisted of a range of services at the pavilion that focused on health, wellness and being more active. What role do initiatives like the Do It For play in fostering community engagement and personal healing?
Yeah, so this was an amazing collaboration partnership because the Telford and Wrekin Council and the NHS, that was particularly Rachel Foster and Jay Morris, were part of this initiative. And then what we've done with that is work with a variety of different agencies like Age UK and across the board, Telford Mind and so on. And then the idea now is develop that more so individuals can actually have their own action plan, as you say, from the Do It For, and then be part of that. You can just Google Do It For if you wanted to do that, and then just provide your own goals and incentives. And we find that walking the Wrekin is often one of them, even if you can get up to the halfway house. But those that sometimes can't actually be more mobile, we do try to arrange some private way of using our 4x4 in a very limited means. But that is about those achievements and aspirations to keep well and healthy. And we've also got now on plugging it for the halfway house on the half term on the Thursday. We've got Jan from Health Watch who's going to be doing blood pressure checks and general health checks. And also we've got Shropshire Wildlife up there because we want to add a little bit of a different dimension for people just to become aware of nature environmentally as well. So that's all adds to it.
Amazing. Absolutely fantastic things going on. And, you know, like I said, the passion is so there. It's so evidently clear, which is amazing. What are Yellow Ribbon's long-term goals for the halfway house and its role within the community?
Yeah, so Yellow Ribbon has had its objectives at the outset, and that was very much keeping people physically well. We've spoken about well-being, we've spoken about youth aspiration, unlocking potential, skills and enterprise potentially. We've started that with young people that are using the cafe. But the biggest one for me is that the community have a say. So I'm very much open and invite, and Blaine does with me on a weekly basis, where people who are interested, they can just come up and share some of what maybe they find that opportunity to do. Often then we use themes at the pavilion to support that. So one of those at the moment is on the 21st of June. We're having bookends, and they're going to be celebrating the solstice with us as well. So from my personal point of view and Yellow Ribbons, it's very much about continuing that community has their say, and please come up and find out a bit more about us and we can see if we can suit community.
Definitely. How do you believe that local residents and my listeners can get involved or support Yellow Ribbon's initiatives?
Yeah, so if you look on the website, that's just Googling Halfway House on the Wrekin. We're then able to have a look on there, and there's an email address which I pick up, which is the info@ email address, and to reach me, and then we can also take those points forward. Very much Blaine and I are up there on a Wednesday, Thursday and Friday in the week, so please just drop in and shout for us, and also on a Saturday at events. So people are just very welcome just to contact me, and then or just drop in as they're passing by.
Brilliant.
Don't be shy, just drop in.
Exactly that. I thought you were going to give it a proper good saying there that rhymes. Don't be shy, summit.
Don't be shy, give it a try.
Hey, there you go, Blaine. I'm not the lyrical artist. It's you, mate. It's you.
But it is a bit like we're very proud of it, because it is a bit like a show home. And what's happened is it's not just the house and the grounds, but we've got now themed areas of the site. So we've got the pavilion itself, which can hold bigger events. But as we go round, we've got like a theatre plinth, and then as the grounds themselves, which you might see originally as picnic table and chairs, but actually that is what I call the theatre view, and you've got a beautiful views and backdrop behind that. Blaine's also doing some landscaping into the garden areas and making things sound, so there's potential projects in that. And we've got a wooden pagoda which we also have themes, and we're working with Cindy Mason Morris with the Armed Forces, because on the 28th of June we're going to have memorabilia as well around that area that date as well.
And plus you got a secret garden if you want to find it. Laura's garden, that's what we call it.
Yeah, so when I was fundraising, I went to Everest Base Camp and then left Blaine fully occupied, and then he surprised me with a secret garden afterwards when I come back. Beautiful.
Nice, love that. Now, the Halfway House has been a cherished landmark for generations of walkers. How does Yellow Ribbon plan to honour its rich history while introducing new community-focused initiatives?
Yeah, so very much, we're very much appreciative of the local history. As I said, we've got a couple of people in the team that are very focused on the heritage, like Rob and just generally Chris as well, who works and volunteers with us. So it's very much understanding what that is, and we've invited people who were part of the original Wrekin Cottage as well, making sure they're involved and appreciate that. So we're not up there to make things extremely different at all. We're there to encourage and enhance that learning and knowledge that's around the history. So we want to, working with Capgemini in June, to start to think about interactive ways of people actually learning through different digital ways of what's up there as well.
Nice, lovely. How does Yellow Ribbon plan to ensure the long-term sustainability of the Halfway House as a community asset?
Yeah, so we were very fortunate with the HM government funding, which then the house is owned by Yellow Ribbon, so the house is there. And then it's me in a dark or maybe purple room at times to sit down with that bid writing. We also ask for donations from the community. We're particularly reaching out there for corporate sponsors or business sponsors to be able to support with that initiatives for the future as well. So again, please contact me.
Now, obviously, feedback is really important, because you need to know that you're doing a good job and these things are having such an impact, which is everything that you guys want to do. But what feedback mechanisms are in place to assess the effectiveness of the programs and the services offered at the Halfway House?
Yeah, so for the HM government funding, we've got the community fund, which we report on a quarterly basis. So it's very much auditable and submit what we've been doing. So that's all been very much welcomed by them. And we also work with Severn Trent Community Fund, who's actually put some money in, and you'll see the Woo Woo public toilet to support that, and then they want to see how we're then supporting community events, because we can do more out of that. Then we ask the community. I've got in the pavilion, there's a variety of different surveys that are based on connecting and how people would like the service to develop in the future, as well as just having a chat with us, really.
Yeah, that's it. But you got that bit of paper spread across the table where people come in and put little messages.
Amazing.
But you read some of them, and some of them they're pretty nice, and they're what the Halfway House gives to them and stuff like that. So yeah, it speaks for itself, really.
It really does. Yeah, you only have to look through them, don't you, to know it's making a difference. 100%. Now, for the listeners interested in supporting or participating, what opportunities are available for volunteering, donations, or even collaborations?
Okay, so the main site is googling the Halfway House on the Wrekin, and then we've got our website with various pages in that, including a donations page, so people are very welcome to go on that. Blaine and I have just done a tandem skydive, not together but individually.
We are going to get into that quite soon, because I know Blaine's got quite an interesting story on that one.
Okay, and so we got Just Giving site. So if you go on to Just Giving and then Google for the friends, and then just put Laura Holly into that, and then you'll come up with a site which we've taken donations on that straight away. But really, just come up really, and just as Blaine said, just drop in and to be able to have a cuppa and we'll have a little chat.
Love that. Love that. Now, this is a question for the both of you. Can you share a transformated story from someone who has benefited from the services that the Halfway House have to offer?
Well, yeah, personally, there's people in my life that haven't been able to get back into work-wise for various reasons, including well-being or health conditions and such. So what we're finding now after being at Halfway House, Kath, she's developed a community wellbeing group now, and she leads on that and inspires people, tell them about the crafts that go on at community events.
Yeah, she does all kinds of stuff. A lot of thread work, making friendship bracelets and that.
Okay.
The kids love it.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually seeing people that maybe thought that they weren't going to be able to do much anymore. We make sure they've got the space to do that. So if anybody's interested in that, on a Thursday between 11 to 2, we've got actually a community wellbeing group that people can drop into. So again, just come along anytime between 11 and 2, and we very much welcome you, and Kath is part of that. And so are a few other volunteers.
Brilliant.
But for me, I'd say me. You know what I mean? Because I grew up in the system, right? But since I've been up there, wow, it's changed everything.
Has it?
Honestly, you won't believe. You know what I mean? My life's just gone out of control, but in a good way, though.
I like it, Blaine, because while you're explaining this, your face kind of lights up. You know what I mean? And I can tell it's genuine what you're saying.
Yeah, you don't understand how my life's changed in the what? How long have I been working up there now? 7 months?
Yeah.
Ish. It's unbelievable how my life's changed.
Love that, Blaine. I love that. It deserves a round of applause, man. Yellow ribbon all the way. That's fantastic. And not just yellow ribbon, an applause for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Laura.
But for yourself, Blaine, for yourself. Take them flowers, because sometimes people deserve their flowers. And for this, you deserve your flowers on that, bro.
I find it hard, though.
I know you might find it hard. Ben finds it hard as well. You know,
yeah.
Even just saying, well done, Ben. You did great in that show. He's like, oh, I don't really do.
Because we don't do it to get...
I know you don't.
We get something out of it, don't we? Watching people flourish, and you know what I mean. Just smile.
Yeah.
That does us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, Blaine. Let me ask you this: What do you think the biggest challenges ex-offenders face when transitioning back into society, and how does Yellow Ribbon directly address them through Halfway House?
When you get out of jail, they kick you out with what? A couple of quid. You know what I mean? Some people don't even got nowhere to go. But Yellow Ribbon, they give you a room, you know what I mean, a shared accommodation, like, but they have nice gaffs, but it's somewhere stable to live, you know what I mean, and then you can just get on your feet that way.
So we're not talking like these hostels where there's already ex-offenders in there, and it's them nice houses, 4 or 5 in an house, them clean, and that's the main thing. If you got somewhere to live when you get out. Wow, because most people, they get out, they've got nowhere to live, so what they've got to do, they've got to go back on the graft just to get somewhere to live, or you know, feed themselves. There, it's you got somewhere stable. Great answer.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. I think that's, for us, is complementing the rest of the team, because we all work in tandem as one team. So we've got Pauline, who heads up as the CEO, and also we've got a variety of different support workers, and Rita, the operational manager, as well. So it's a whole team effort. It's just that we're more focused on the Halfway House element, which is the prevention before it even gets that far.
Yeah.
So we're very fortunate.
You definitely are, 100%. How, for you, Laura, how important is peer support or mentorship in the re-entry process?
Oh, it's paramount. Some people don't really understand unless they've actually lived through it. And I've learned a lot from people around me to actually respect that their lives have gone through horrendous traumas and challenges some of us won't even face, and to be able to have dignity and humbleness and being privileged as being part of that process. So what I do, my thing is like identifying those people with lived-in experience to be able to share with others, so it enables and empowers that young person, or maybe a bit older, to learn from that before they go down the wrong path themselves.
Fantastic.
Definitely.
Great answer, Laura. How does Yellow Ribbon work to change the public's perception of former prisoners? Because let's face it, so many people label, we had this conversation before, you know, I get labeled myself, the matching tracksuits, the fact that I do this music, you know, all of a sudden people think that I may be uneducated and I've, you know, I've got no purpose but the music. Yeah, exactly.
Because you got,
you're a waif and stray, you know, what trailer trash I've been called, and what council estate boy and all this, but I'm damn proud to be working class council estate boy, and I'm proud of that, and my family's still very much in the estate and all that. You know, I live in this lovely place, but you know, my mom and my family are still in the estates of Telford, you know, and I'm very proud to be
action
from there.
Action speaks louder than words, though.
It really does,
You're
mate.
doing well, you know what I mean? So, that's what it's about. You just got to prove yourself, and show them you're willing and able to do whatever they give you, and just work hard.
Yeah. Now, obviously, like, when ex-offenders come to Halfway House, you know, that they've got a bag of experiences, some quite traumatic. How does Yellow Ribbon incorporate trauma-informed care into its support programs at the Halfway House?
Yeah, okay. So I'll just clarify, we've updated a bit more of the programmes now. So the programmes for ex-offenders take place more in the our main offices, which is Meeting Point House, and up at Halfway House we just maybe have some isolated sort of private groups, and those are then incorporated with the bigger programme. So ex-offenders are more incorporated into a bigger programme of rehabilitation, which takes place within the direction of that operational team. So part of it really for me is rather than segmenting people in boxes, I was very fortunate, because I'm going to give a plug for my mum now.
Do it.
At the very small age, I was actually, I went with her to different people who were homeless, and she just said, this is what you do. And it was about just giving people respect as individuals in life. And I've always had that, and taught my own children, and now I've got a little grandchild as well.
Don't even look old enough, Laura. No, genuinely, you don't even look old enough to have a grandchild. But anyway.
But anyway, it's about
must be that Avon moisturiser.
Treating people with dignity and respect that they deserve as individuals. So that's how it works. It's not, and you said about trauma-informed as well. So as we know, in challenges in childhood now, and unfortunately increasing, there's a lot of examples where children have had to overcome horrendous experiences in the family home or wherever they're living, and then it's about how we then support and guide to still be able to keep on the track and not go down a spiral of triggers and past histories and going round and round in the revolving door syndrome. So that's where at Halfway House we can help, because we've got different areas of mentors that are coming up there. So it's about just generally common conversation with different people, particularly young people and a bit older. And I'm particularly concerned, I have worked with young carers before, young girls and young gentlemen, as it were, and just trying to be able to find them alternatives as mentors to be able to support them to keep on the right track there and then.
Yeah. 100%. Now, you mentioned that obviously it's teamwork at the Halfway House. You know, there's lots of people with lots of different roles. How essential are volunteers to the daily operations of the Halfway House, and what type of roles do they fill?
Yeah, so the main volunteers we have right now are to do with the community wellbeing group. So these are what are called community wellbeing catalysts, and these are people that can come in, drift in with their own craft and hobby and interest, and at the same time be able to provide just a little social chat. And if necessarily, they might learn more information around agencies that are available and share that with people who want to be able to be part of that. We've also got people involved in supporting Blaine around the gardens and grounds. Do you want to talk a bit about projects and coming up? And
we've got.
Are you boss man? Are you Blaine?
No,
you're boss man. You are, aren't you?
Well, it's no, but I'll watch over him.
top dog.
But it's Tact. Is it Tact?
Yeah.
Tact's coming up soon, and with a bunch of lads.
Brilliant.
I'll get them grafting.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, but it gives them something to do for the day.
It does. And like, you know, there's a fine line between being like a boss man. You know, I say that in joke, in jest, but like there's a fine line between that and teaching them discipline.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
give them some rules at the start.
Yeah, because some people crave that. We all crave a level of discipline. You know,
give them a self-achievement. Because when they finish the project,
project.
Well, yeah, that's the one. When we finish, they can look back and think, wow, they
I get it.
giving some pride back a little bit.
Yeah, I get it. Now, since taking over the halfway house, what has been the biggest lesson learned about community, redemption, or resilience?
Wow.
Yeah.
It comes in spades, to be honest with you, because we can see people changing throughout the time that we're speaking to them. People come back on a regular occasion. We've got one young lad, we're doing some talent spotting at the moment as well. So Aidan, he was, Blaine spotted him doing the keyboard, wasn't he?
Yeah,
just
he's pretty handy on the keyboard. He used to just come up on a weekend and play.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I introduced her to Laura, and there you go.
So now Aidan will be working with us, and he'll be doing not only supporting the cafe, but a little bit of an entertainment spot as well.
I love that. I love that.
So we just pick. I'm able to thankfully do that and facilitate if somebody's got a bit of talent and where they fit in that halfway house. Some people are naturally interested in the history up there as well, so fitting them as part of the walking groups that we're developing, and just seeing, really, for me, it's about that individual. What are they interested in, and actually how can they be part of it up there?
And mine's pulling up with her.
Poor you.
Yeah, he tends to turn up most days, so it's okay.
No, whilst researching Yellow Ribbon last night, I noticed that you guys have worked with a number of artists. Can you talk me more about the Community Voices art project, and how because there was a local artist, is her name Caris Jackson?
Yeah,
she collaborated with the community to create a collective memory piece for the halfway house.
Yeah, that was amazing. Caris is amazing. She's worked with...
I need to see this piece.
Yeah, it's was unveiled by Mayor Ian Priest, and this was really very heartfelt to me, because what I wanted to do when we went in September, October half term it was, and it was very important to ensure that the public knew that Yellow Ribbon aren't there with the house just for Yellow Ribbon. It's very much a community asset. So the initiative was that the members of the public could just drift into the pavilion, have some chat with Caris, and then they were able to bring some collages of art and their memories of the Wrekin and how they're connected to the Wrekin. Caris says she's absolutely amazing and brilliant. She's very modest as well. She's got a lot of exhibitions going on now. She put that together in this canvas art piece, which is really like a show piece itself, and then put that up, and then we used the abilities of a variety of different members of the community, including artists locally themselves, very much invited up there. And then, as I say, Mayor Ian Priest to be able to unveil that on the day, and then we were able to call in various members of the public and those that had created that piece to say how they felt and what their connection was.
It was a bit emotional, wasn't it, that day?
Yeah, there was quite a few with some memories.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, the fact that you said it's emotional, that shows that you guys have genuinely got to care about, everything that you guys are doing. So, that what more can you ask for? That's amazing. In what ways do you believe that art contributes to the healing and the rehabilitation process for individuals at the halfway house?
Well, in a variety of different ways. It's not being an artist themselves, but it's just to be able to take some time out in a quiet space, to be able to be in the natural outdoors area that the pavilion is part of, and just to be able to be with others alongside and to share some of that, if you like, peer support and getting to know people and a bit more social. And for me, the element is about art brings that facilitation as well of belonging. Because what I'm liking about Halfway House is that there's a natural gravitation up there, and art is really used as a medium to that.
Yeah, love that. Are there plans for future art installations or projects that will continue to engage the community?
Yeah, so exciting.
Hey, you can't say yet though, can you, at all? Is it all under wraps at the moment,
Well,
Laura?
the main focus is the summer programme now. So, as I say, that kicks off with yourself and Leo Loco on the 24th of May. And then we follow that with Nigel Bowen, who's very much... available to provide music of different sounds and types over the next June and July as well.
Yeah.
So he's been able to offer that, And then in July, again, we've got Pete Hartley, electric violinist, to be available.
I bet he is,
Yeah.
Has he played before? I feel like he might have played before at your
He's
events.
been up twice, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
he can play anything on that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, he can make it sing, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's clever, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we got the summer solstice as well. So what I'm trying to do at the moment is spend the summer with, and then we can then go from there, some of that community feel and vibrance as to where then we next go. But definitely as part of that, developing more the creative activity provision, which I'm calling out for reaching to donations and to be part of purchasing some of that provision for our young people.
Lovely. So keeping in mind with the music, I'm going to ask pretty much the same question, but what role do you think music therapy plays in the rehabilitation process?
Music is expressive. It enables people to actually share their feelings in different ways and to be able to take from that some hard-hitting content, so to speak, and then to be able to manipulate that in a good way, to be able to, as I say, mainly engagement and expression. I know Ben works with that. I know that you work with that. So that's why I got you guys on board as well.
I knew
so
there was
it's
a reason.
where the specialists are. But,
She's using you.
Are there any... Go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, but then as Blaine mentioned, Pete, who does a different genre of music as well. So it's using all of that medium to be able to provide some social and some fun with it as well.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's all about having fun at the end of the day, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not fun, people ain't going to engage, are they? They're not going to be interested. Are there any plans to introduce like new educational or vocational training programs to further support these individuals?
Yeah, there are plans. We're just going to develop now, and that's to engage people as part of that development, because I do like to ensure people have got a voice in this and what they want as part of it. So at the end of June, we're looking for more community voice into that to see how it looks and what that's going to be.
Brilliant. What do you think are the long-term goals for the Halfway House, and how do you envision its role in the community evolving over the next few years?
Yeah, so it's on many tangents, because there's the heritage itself, which I think is already there, and to be able to develop the heritage and the history, the walks, I want it to be more of a walking hub for people. We're also looking at Wrekin and adventures, developing the aspects like where we've been doing tandem skydives, done Everest Base Camp, and Wrekin and sponsorships, and thinking about more adventure and edgy stuff as well around that.
Oh, wow.
We've got paragliding school in contact with us as well. So there's going to be the mainstay of the well-being and the keeping people healthy, things like that, and definitely about more creativity as we go through, and the incorporation of nature and the environment for people to be more aware of what's around them.
Love
and
that.
how we can protect our animals and wildlife.
Mm-hmm. Anything else to say on that, Blaine?
No, that's
Nah,
it. She
cool.
smashed it.
She did smash it. Yeah. Okay, so obviously these podcasts go out far and wide. You know, we've got lots of different listeners all over the place. A lot of support in Telford and Shropshire Mines, but they do go a lot further. But what message would you like to share with the community about the importance of supporting and engaging with the Halfway House?
Well, the importance is this is about the community. It's not about Yellow Ribbon, it's about the community, and we want you to contact us. As Blaine's already put out there, we're up there Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. We've got our family events, so we want you to come and attend those events to be able to meet you and provide more of them as we go forward, and encourage that conversation and how Halfway House can be for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just drop in. We'll always take time out for you.
Love that. So looking back to rehabilitation, now I know, as you said, like Meeting Point House is more where they deal with the ex-offenders directly once leaving prison. What are the first steps Yellow Ribbon take when someone is released from prison and comes into your care?
So the first stage will be understanding that individual. So this is with the brilliance of the support workers that work with us. And it's about them. It's about that person as an individual. So we're very much about what we call person-centred. Actually, what does that person want to achieve? So we've just introduced, you mentioned about traumas and so on. We've just introduced also what's called a Justice Star, and it's about enhancing every element of that person's life with that person actually leading that for them own selves.
Yeah. Plus the courses and that, then they know. Yellow Ribbon actually run MBQs and stuff like
Nice,
that.
okay.
On mental health.
Credited actual.
Yeah,
Wicked, I
on
love
mental
that.
health and other stuff.
Yeah, love that.
Mindset.
Because some
and stuff like
ex-offenders
that.
may leave with the prison. I mean, they do courses within prison.
Oh
don't
yeah,
they?
yeah.
Yeah, but some
So,
won't do
some
them, will they?
won't
Some-
do it.
Yeah.
Then, but when they get out, they feel a bit more comfortable because.
And
You
it's
can
given-
walk out if you want.
Yeah.
If you get a bit stressed.
And it's
or
given him a
whatever.
purpose, Blaine, as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
given him a
of
purpose, something to
course,
work
yeah.
with. Yeah, 100%. So, Laura, from your experience, what strategies have been the most effective in helping ex-offenders break the cycle of reoffending?
It's very simple. My heart is there. It's just about that valuing the person. It really is. It's very basic. How can you not value a person, give them the dignity and the humbleness they deserve? And I feel very much so it's about learning from their own experiences, putting them in the driving seat, empowering them, and to be able to facilitate as much as you can what they want to achieve. So at the end of the day, it's them that are achieving their own goals. But if you can be a vehicle in order to do that, so the good.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for myself, I've never been in the system, but yeah, I think that what you guys do kind of relates and kind of hits home for me, because I had a very, very good friend. I could almost class him as a best friend, who mentored me with the music. He took me to my first recording studio at 15 years old and just like seen the flame in me and tried igniting it and pushing it as much as he could. And unfortunately, he passed away as a prisoner in Winson Green at 50 years old of a heart attack. So, but while he was in there, we were very blessed. The Winson Green prison, after his death, they invited myself and his son to go into the Winson Green wing and actually into his cell. And while we were in there, we were met by so many inmates that were telling us about how Les was a mentor for them, how he was like, because he was the older one. If they were missing their family, they'd go and have a chat with him. If they were missing their kids, they'd go and have a chat with him. And
Wrote
obviously
a letter.
yeah, some of them weren't, they couldn't
Yeah.
obviously spell, so they went to Les to write the letters, and yeah, he was a big advocate whilst inside, and unfortunately with a few months to go before he was released, he had a heart attack in his cell. So what you guys do very much rings true for me. Do you know what I mean? It's sentimental for me and definitely rings true. So how do you personalize rehabilitation plans for each individual, Laura? Like, are there specific risk assessments of personal goal setting strategies that you use?
Yeah, definitely. And it's more about the person to do that. We just encourage the person to seek inside themselves as to what they would like to do, and it's more than hopes and dreams and aspirations. It's practically achievable as well. So it's quite of an interest to me where some people might not think they could ever do that, and also the way maybe the system is ordered and they're told what to do, where really it should be the other way around. It's that person's lifestyle, it's that person's journey. It's all it is about information and informing, and that encouragement of dreams can come true.
Yeah.
I suppose keeping in mind that you can only help someone who wants to be helped as well.
you got to want it yourself, no matter what happens. If you don't want it, you ain't going to do
You
anything.
agree with that one,
you?
Blaine, yeah?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Now, obviously, society can judge, that's no secret, but how does Yellow Ribbon help ex-offenders overcome the stigma that they often face in the wider community?
I think it's about putting people in different situations that they might not have been in before. So Blaine was saying about attending education courses. It's about having lunch together, social things.
Yeah, stepping outside your comfort zone at the end of the day and trying something new. You can do anything if you put your mind to it.
Exactly, Blaine, exactly.
Anything.
And for you then, Blaine, what do you think are some of the most misconceptions that people have about ex-offenders, and how does the work that Halfway House do challenge that?
Most people, when you go in there, leopard never changes spots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but look at me, you know what I mean?
Perfect example
that's what
right
I'm
here.
Life
People
changer.
swear to God that I would
Life
never
changer.
change, but you know what I mean?
Good for you,
wow.
mate.
Yeah. It's just proving them wrong. That's all I want to do.
And again, like I keep saying this, and I'm going to say it again, Blaine, like sometimes people deserve their flowers, and whether you like it or not, you need to have your flowers there. You've worked damn hard to get where you are, so that's progression. That's progression in my eyes, and in anyone's eyes, really. Now, aside from all the amazing things that Yellow Ribbon do as a service, you've also been branching out into different areas of creativity to engage your clients with, and more recently, you held a book launch event for New Generations coaching Ben Butler, which was a great success, and seen the likes of Mayor Ian Priest, the Tark residents and the team at TACT attend. How did the collaboration between Ben Butler and Yellow Ribbon first come together? I'm interested in this. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm interested.
You know?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
How did it first come together?
So Ben Butler I used to work for Telford and Wrekin CVS, which is a charity, and I've got young carers that were under my remit as a service manager, and it was of real concern to me that these young carers, we got youngest as 5 actually upwards, but it was really particularly the teens that were concerned with being concerned every day by being bullied. Some of them weren't actually sure of who they were around identity. There was a lot of information that was lost in terms of racism. And anyway, these things and challenges, what was happening was although they tried to get support from schools because of all the pressures schools have, they weren't really being able to be informed. And then one day, Ben just walked into CVS offices. I met him. He said just a couple of words, and it was just his demeanour and his had just come from his eyes that he wanted to be able to inspire others. So we got talking together, and he told me about his company New Generation, and it was very much about him as a person for me that could actually relate to these young people. And from that, there were so many benefits that he actually, and he's so humble, he wouldn't share them with you because half the time I don't think he recognises the amazingness he does.
No, he doesn't.
So from that, I then, as part of CVS, commissioned him to then provide a programme for our young carers, and he actually stayed with us for 2 years doing that. Yeah, which was a wow. And then I moved on to Yellow Ribbon at Halfway House. He calls it, he lost me for a while. I said we'd never say goodbye because of what he can offer. And then all of a sudden somebody put us in touch with each other. He got up to Halfway House and we said, right, okay, here we are, and we'll start again on something else and a bigger and better project.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history.
Love that.
Definitely.
Now, what does the partnership signify for both parties, do you think?
We just want to do so much to protect and have our young people have better lives for themselves. We don't want them to be wasted. We want them to be able to be empowered and respond back to a lot of what society gives them. We want them to be able to have their own futures, to be able to design that for themselves, and to be able to, what Ben does beautifully, is provide, if you like, a toolkit for them with coping strategies and how to keep on that right track.
And watch them flourish, any.
That's what it's definitely. So, the book launch, how do you think that event went personally?
Oh, the book launch was amazing.
I loved it.
It was very powerful that day. It actually was one of my little joyful moments, because the type of people that actually attended at the pavilion that day are people that could have been doing other things elsewhere, and they really took their time out and commitment to come up to the Halfway House. A couple of them had lifts up there. Maybe you just
the VIPs.
Just the VIPs.
Just the special ones.
Just the special ones. But the reality was, as part of that, Ben was able to have his voice heard. And to be honest with you, the few years back, Ben always said to me, I'm going to have a book, Laura, I'm going to have a book. And at the time, I knew he was going to have the book. So here we are at this stage. And then we were able to do the book launch, also interview a few other aspiring and inspiring people around him as well. And it's driven me to now really identify a collective and a youth action movement. So it's Ben's book, if you like, is the vehicle to a particular strategy to support our young people in aspirations. And talking about it with Mayor Ian Priest, he was supporting the drive to unlock potential and aspirations in our young people. So that's where it's going big time.
But who was that bloke who sang?
I don't know, but it was a load of rubbish.
So yeah, Dribbz, you're involved in all of that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, the one thing I do respect about Ben is like he's a doer. Like, there's so many people out there that I know that sit on their sofas and go, "I'm going to do this," and they do not get the wheels in motion. Whereas Ben, like you said, he mentioned that, and here we are with the book launch. He sat on that sofa only a few hours ago before you on the first podcast of the day today, and he said, "I said, what's next then, Ben? What's next?" And he said, I want to film. And I'm like, really? He's like, and not only do I want to film, I want to film on Netflix. And I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
I said, let's just concentrate on getting the book out there first. Come on. But like you said, wheels are in motion. He'll do it. I know he'll do it. I know he'll do it, especially with the support of you guys.
That's what you need to.
Well, that's where I am, is like a little bro to me, really. And that's where we're going, because I want to make it happen. And I'm going to make it happen. He'll do it himself, but as long as we can be on that journey with him. And for me, that's going to launch more than the film. As I said, it's about supporting a bigger population of protection of our young people, and to be able to make them better lives.
Well, I must say, like, Ben genuinely thinks the world of you. Like, he's got so much. And same for you as Blaine as well. Trust me, like you were saying to me today, I love them too. Like, they mean so much to me. And honestly, he feels like he's got a connection with the both of you. So, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. Hey, Blaine's got a tear in his eye. It's rolling down his cheek. Now, while the book launch was in full swing, Ben and a good friend of his were involved in the unveiling of a plaque which is situated at the pavilion at the halfway house, supporting the unlocking of potential to empower young people to achieve their aspirations. What does it mean for you guys to have that visual reminder proudly in place that gives hope to anyone looking to change their ways and strive for a better version of themselves?
Yeah, well, it's absolutely amazing what we've done, Blaine and I, between us. That pavilion is sectioned out into different themes, and that's my most aspirational corner. But when you go into that, we worked with graphics, and I think his first name's Kev anyway, but there's some really good graphics into that corner. So the idea is when the young people come in just to play a game of the pool and whatever, they're congregating within that feature. And that information board also provides them with a possibility of support and guidance as well if they need it. So we're developing that as a main platform for performances in different ways on a small platform, but also when you're up there as well, Dribbz. We've got the outdoor to fall out into as well.
People really do not understand how much she works. You know what I mean? People just think it comes together just like that, but it don't.
No.
Relentless days on that computer. I just laugh at her when I walk in. They'll to get a cup of tea. She works hard. I'm proud of her. I am.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are, Blaine. I think, definitely. And like you're totally right. Like, people will say, like, these fun days and things that the events that you put on, when people attend them, they're just seeing that final product. They're not seeing all the graft and the hours that Laura's put in and the team have put in. You know. So you've got to give that. Anyone. Yeah, exactly that.
It's always a bonus.
See, there's your flowers tonight.
There's my flowers.
There's 2 bouquets of flowers over here, and they ain't nettles. They're beautiful flowers over here for these guys, for sure. Now, not only that, then I had the absolute pleasure of joining you guys for the book launch and performing a couple of my tracks. Now, what did it mean for you to have me come down and perform, Laura?
It was amazing. I was so taken aback, because I hadn't met you before, but the presence that you have, it's just overwhelming, because the peaceful and calm that you present as well is, again, the touch that the young people need. It's, actually through that music medium was absolutely profound, because it provided messages in there without being too pressured or overwhelming, but what people took from that was absolutely outstanding and inspirational. So from the just your presence there, it just really helps us to do what we need to do.
Do you believe that my messages that I put out in my lyrics align with the values of Yellow Ribbon and Ben Butler's book?
Most definitely. It all marries up the similar themes, but what I like about it is, like, it's different directions of those themes in different ways and different vehicles, and that's what I'm saying. If we're all joining together in our own different ways, I mean, Blaine was very complimentary there, but the reality is all of us are working hard together. We can be that collective and be able to guide young people in, and the young people then are comfortable with those messages that are being provided, and then have that ability to talk through them if necessary.
Some of them can be the next Dribbz. You never know.
Maybe.
Yes.
But what I will say is, like, collectively together, the team is strong.
Smashing it.
The team is powerful, and the team is strong, and the team is focused, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'd like people who are listening to us to be able to be part of that. And so again, to Google on the Halfway House on the Reekin site, and that email on there at the info at. And if people are interested, I'm very happy, as is Blaine, for them to drop along and come and see us. That's all it needs. And we've got, it's like a stone going into water with all the ripples, and those ripples are really coming strong to be able to spread this news out. So.
Definitely. How can events like this, combining books, music and real life stories, act as a powerful tool for changing public's perception of ex-offenders?
Well, in terms of that, it's about more knowledge and informed, isn't it? It's about people actually understanding. People might have a backdrop, a backstory in their lives before they got into that position as well. So more information and more knowledge is more ability to get an understanding, drop those prejudices, and to be able to just have a little listen, and to be able to be open-minded.
Yeah, for sure. So why do you think it's important to include music and creative performances in community-focused events like this one, Laura?
Well, I've used the vehicles before, and what I find is the audience is drawn to that in its initial state. So people want to come along, listen to some music, the social, and what we're used to as part of society, to be able to have that little respite, join up socially. And then what I do is be able to provide a backdrop of information, if it be through people themselves that are actually there, or leaflets or so on. So if, for example, they were attending that event and in the pavilion we got an array of information, they can also then pick up that as well to, if you like, tuck in the pocket or whatever to take home and read later. So important to that is, as we said, we're working with TACT, which is about recovery from addictions and also mental health. Telford Mind, we've got information on health and improvement, but also trying to really understand people in that general conversation and chit chat that we provide just over a general cuppa.
Yeah, and that can make all the difference, you know. Just that chit chat can make all the difference.
That's it.
You know. Now, Blaine, get yourself comfy. There's a few questions for you now, my mate. You were mentioned as being the Halfway House guardian. Now, looking after the house and the grounds, that's a huge responsibility, right?
Nah, I don't.
It is. Come on.
But I don't see it as that. It's a pleasure for me, honestly. You won't believe. I love it up there.
All right, can you explain what your role is as the guardian of the Halfway House?
I just mend things, do the garden, keep it up, I do everything. And then help Laura with the events.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's it really.
Okay, so what does a typical day look like for you at the Halfway House, Blaine?
Get there, do what she says. Basically.
So Laura cracks the whip and you get to work.
Yeah, that's it. She says I do.
Yeah. So you've been again. It's a bit modest on this one because he's just done landscaping of the garden. He's put all of the painting and the fixtures in place.
Yeah, I just tidy it up, make it look good, make it look homey.
I'm glad Laura's giving that input there, because just turning up and doing what Laura says, be more specific on things that you do.
But it's just about making it look welcome for people to come, because if it just looks a mess, no one's going to come in. And by just making it look pretty or whatever, people will come in and you could probably change your life. You know what I mean? And by just popping in.
And what does it mean to you, like when you've done like a project, like, you know, a certain area of the Halfway House, and like people come past and go, God, that's well nice, that is. You're doing a good job there. Surely you must feel good to do that.
It makes me proud.
Yeah, of course you should be very proud of yourself, mate. Very proud of yourself.
It makes me proud to be part of it.
How did you first become involved with Yellow Ribbon then, Blaine, and what led you to take on this pivotal role at the Halfway House?
I was in the office got talking to a Medora brew.
Do you know what? I've got to say this. You make a Boston brew. When I had that brew when I first come up, I was like, that's a really nice brew. So if that was all that changed Laura, that made Laura.
Then I just said, if you want any litter picking or anything doing, I said, just give me. I don't mind doing anything. So I started up there a couple of days a week, for about a week.
Yeah.
And then I just go up every time it's open, like go up there weekends and help Terry with a calf and just tidy up for her, run about for her. But I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I love it up there.
Yeah, you're a good guy, Blaine.
It's changed my life.
I was going to say it's much more than that as well.
Yeah.
Because when Blaine was talking to me, I was just about to do a December event, and it was very much that you could feel that he just wanted to be in part of it. And so we started from there. He helped all Leo Loco with all the getting all the equipment up for the fire breathing apps and this, that and the other, and a lot of things that none of us would be able to do, so we're very complimentary in the team.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
So, and then is a life changer himself, and also without him being
He's looking away now. He's just
saying
like
it. He changes people's lives like the boy with the stick.
he does change people's lives.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
what.
that's well.
Let me
It's a
move
good
to
boy
this.
with
Let
the
me
stick.
move to this. The boy with the stick. Now, I know at one stage, Blaine, you become a little Facebook famous through no fault of your own. I recently seen a post from a visitor to the Wrekin whose son had found himself a walking stick to help him up the Wrekin, but unfortunately on the way back down he slipped and broke his stick. You got a special mention in this post for taking the time to tape it all back together so the boy could continue his descent.
The man up the halfway house. I love it.
How did it make you feel to brighten up that lad's day?
Oh, no, because I only seen it the day after I did on the morning. Wow. I told you straight away, then it touched me.
Yeah.
But I was just doing something so simple as that. It cheered that family up to me. And, yeah, I was... I don't know, I was a bit chuffed.
I bet you was.
I had a little tear in my eye, I ain't going to lie.
All right, Blaine,
Yeah.
so why do you think that giving random acts of kindness is important in society?
It ain't hard, is it?
No, it's not.
It's not. And if everyone does it a little bit more, the world will be a better place.
Yeah, 100%. Now, as we stated before, Blaine, not only are you guardian for the property, which is a huge honour in itself, you also oversee community events with Laura, welcoming visitors, encouraging them to for more social time together. And can I just say, Blaine, as I said before, when I came up for Ben's book launch, I've got to say, one, you make a stunning cup of tea and instantly made me feel welcomed on arrival. And that in itself, mate, is a great skill and a great quality to have. But your devotion to your role doesn't stop there, because on the 10th of May, you took part in a tandem skydive alongside Laura to raise funds to provide creative activities for children and young people in the natural outdoors at the halfway house. You are braver than me, mate. I literally just couldn't. But take us back to the morning of the skydive. What was going through your mind? Was you nervous, excited, or a bit of both?
Well, that's the weird thing about it. I was all right, mate. I was when I...
Let's just start with.
Yeah, all the way, got in the
He's
plane.
talking the talk now, Laura.
I was all right, but then as soon as we got halfway up, something come over me. And I looked at Laura, I went, listen, I am. You know what I mean? I'm bricking it, I am. So I don't know what happened to me. And that, they like it. I thought, what am I doing? But then, when I seen her go, while coming back down in that plane,
No.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
So I just...
Now, I know I've asked you this question before at Ben's performance. I think it was the first thing I asked you, but what did it feel like when she'd left the plane? Like, can you describe that moment when the ground just dropped away?
You can't explain it, can you?
Takes your breath away.
Yeah, because you can't breathe, because you know the wind. But wow, that experience will stay with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's something
Free
else.
falling.
Yeah,
right away.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's
You
great.
just can't explain that
No,
feeling.
you can't. Yeah, I guess you
it's
can't.
a right rush.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind when your feet hit the ground again? Was it like relief, adrenaline, or just being proud of yourself?
Yeah, I was a bit proud of myself, but I was like, thank God I'm on the floor. I'm telling you.
What inspired you to take on this challenge for yourself as well, Laura, and why was it important for you to raise funds for Yellow Ribbon?
Well, I just want to raise funds for children and young people to be able to support the community activities. When we're doing the activities, when we're, if you like, purchasing the acts to music, art, or whatever it is, there is a financial contribution to that to be able to do it. So my way was to be able to do some fun fundraisers and see what Blaine's face was like if he'd actually go through it.
Fun!
trying to kill me.
To be able to raise some money. So as I said earlier, we've got a Just Giving page. Just go on the Just Giving, find a friends and just put Laura Holly in it and the page will come up.
In fact, what I'm going to do is when I release this podcast, which will be very, very soon, I'm going to just include that link in the description. So if anyone wants to find that, they can give it a click.
Yeah, because it's a good, because it's in current, taking donations like as we speak, really. really. So I just love it. That was my 5th time doing tandem. Yeah, I just love doing that.
She's an adrenaline junkie, isn't she?
She's not right in the head.
She's not right in the head.
I'm telling you.
What would you say to someone who's thinking about doing a charity challenge, whether it's skydiving or something else?
Oh, go for it. It's about taking yourself out of the comfort zone. And one thing I've learned in life is to just do different things. You don't know you've done it until you've actually started out and doing. So just go for it.
Good answer.
And it's giving back, and it gives some raise money to. It's like we raise money for some kids to activities up there, and that could change someone's life.
Of course it could, yeah.
And it's always a win.
Absolutely, Blaine. Yeah, absolutely. Would you ever do it again, or is once enough?
Yeah, I'd probably do it again.
Would you? Would you do it again?
I reckon so, yeah.
Right, book him in, Laura.
No,
Sixth
not
time.
yet.
Laura's gone on this.
He's got another one I'm going to do for him as a surprise. Something to do with height.
Oh, no.
It's going to be height.
She's trying to kill me.
This is paragliding off the side of the Wrekin.
She's trying to kill me. I thought me and you was all right.
You've heard it here first. You've heard it here first. What did this experience teach you, Blaine, like about yourself? Fear, courage, or, you know?
You can do anything when you put your mind to it. Anything whatsoever.
That's exactly it, isn't it? Yeah, good answer, Blaine. So look into the next event then, guys. You've got a family fun day on the 24th of March at the halfway...
May.
Sorry, the 24th of May. Let's get that right. At the halfway house. This includes live music from myself, crafts in the pavilion, and Telford's own Leo Loco with his circus skills and magic. Are you looking forward to this event, and do events like this take a lot of preparation?
We're really looking forward to this event. We love our family events. And yes, it does take a lot of prep. But it doesn't matter, because the end result is with people actually come in, and we see the smiles on people's faces. We see good works like yourself, Dribbz, but I must give a plug for Leo Loco, and it's all really worth it. He's worked with me for a number of years, and he's a humble person in the sense that he's done a lot of work with community outreach for our deprived families in Telford as well. So everybody's welcome outside of Telford as well, but I do work hard to make sure it's free of charge for our families.
Yeah.
We love it, don't we?
We love it as well. Come and meet us.
I can tell you love it. I can tell you love it. Like, 100%. And finally, what do you hope visitors take away from the events that you hold at the premises at the halfway house?
Yeah, well, we want to make sure they have a better day from coming in to start with, and what they've been able to have some fun and just learning some bits and pieces up there as well. But the reality is I want people to come back, want people to have a natter with us, just to share their own personal stories and their connections to the Wrekin. As Blaine said, we've got some art and how to express that as well, but also just to be able to be part of. We want a massive belonging. We want people to be part of a collective at Halfway House and make it happen.
Yeah, love that, Laura. Well, I'm really looking forward to coming up again, and I strongly suggest that the public get behind Yellow Ribbon and show support for all the amazing things they're doing within the community. The way I see it is, like, we are all only one bad choice away from being in a negative position in our life, and you never know a time that you may need the help of Yellow Ribbon as support. So please keep supporting, attending, and spread the word that Yellow Ribbon is here to stay. So now we've got all the informative questions out the way. This brings us close to the end of the podcast. But to finish, I want to present you guys with a series of quick-fire questions, right? I haven't prepared you for this. I don't prepare my guests for this. This one is all about just having a bit of fun, all right? It's aimed as icebreakers, but personally, I feel like we broke the ice like many weeks, months ago. So should we go straight in with it? Should we do this, right? Okay, so you can choose to pass if you'd like. They're quick-fire questions. I want you both, if you can, to give an answer individually. All right, let's start with the first one. So, if you could have one song play each time you entered the room for the rest of your life, what would it be?
God, that's an odd one.
Take as long as you want. You're all
we
right.
We are the champions.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't back it up, Blaine. I want you to give a separate one.
Away.
Yeah, I like that, Jack. That's a classic. If you had to eat one meal every day for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
Chips.
Can't beat chips, can you?
Custard.
You like custard, do you?
Yeah, I like custard.
Yeah, okay, all right, I like that. What about the green custard you used to get in the schools? You don't get that anymore. Tarmac custard these days.
Cumberland custard.
Yeah, okay, I like that. Laura, what's your secret talent that's absolutely useless but oddly impressive? Apart from throwing yourself out of planes.
Yeah, throwing myself up planes. Trekking, high altitude trekking.
Do you? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, there you go. That's a good one.
It's sort of useful when you are actually climbing up the mountain. So,
true. That comes in handy. Yeah,
but other than that, it's not really useful.
it's all right. Yeah, okay. I can see that Blaine's got his thinking cap on here. Like,
I couldn't answer that one. I don't know.
don't worry.
I ain't
Honestly,
got really
there's no
many-
expectation to answer these
I couldn't
questions.
answer that
They're
one,
just a
no.
bit of fun. That's
I
all.
know.
All right. Okay. So, if you could speak fluent in one language, which would you choose?
French.
Yeah. What's the reason, Blaine?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. You just think it's pretty cool.
It sounds nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does actually.
The ladies love
It's
it.
that romantic.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonjour.
So you're halfway there.
With a rose in your mouth and
Yeah, something like that.
What about yourself, Laura? Is this where you tell me you can speak an array of different languages?
I can speak a little bit of French, but I would like to speak more fluent Chinese, Cantonese.
Oh,
My
nice.
children are from that heritage as well.
Are they really?
Yeah, so
Wow.
they're bilingual. So yeah, catching up
Wow,
with
that's
that.
amazing. Okay, so what is your most irrational fear that people could never guess about you?
Snakes.
Yeah, I don't like snakes
Nah.
either.
Anything else? I'm all right with.
Surely
spiders.
you see many a grass snakes in the Wrekin,
No,
surely.
I've not seen one yet.
Have you not?
No.
I'm shocked at that.
Yeah, spiders. I'm all right with snakes.
No.
Not too much.
I just crossed my mind. My fear is I don't like food being left.
Right, okay.
Because I was going to go for the spider thing, but then it's about food being left on the plate. I'm not keen on that because there's so many people without food.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Okay, so if you had to swap lives with a cartoon character for a day, who would you choose and how chaotic would it get? Can be anyone.
I'm going to go for Lady Penelope.
Hey. Why can I imagine you driving Penelope's car? Wait, she doesn't drive her own car, does she?
No.
She's driven around, doesn't she?
I do.
Hey. What's his name?
Parker.
That's you.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
He calls me Lady Penelope.
There you go. You got Lady Penelope and Parker.
Parker, yeah.
There you
we'll
go.
go with that one.
There you go. We'll go with that. What is a completely normal thing that freaks you out a little bit more than it should?
Right, I don't know.
Oh.
No, I don't know about that one.
It's all
yeah.
good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Have to think about
It's
that
fine.
one.
What sport do people enjoy that you think is pointless?
Synchronized swimming.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. With the legs up in the air and all
Yeah,
that kind of
I
stuff.
just don't get it.
Yeah, don't get it, okay.
I haven't got one for that for now.
Do you know what mine is? Mine's. I'm sorry if you're a big
Yeah.
F1
carry on.
fan here, but F1, I just don't get it. I do not get it. And I've got friends that pay a lot of money to go and watch F1, and like they're there with their banners, and then these cars go, phew, and then they're like, right, okay, we've got 7 minutes till it comes around again. It's like it's pointless to me. I don't get it. And same
See
with
how
golf
fast you
as
can
well.
change your tyre.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, yeah. So
Mine might
that's-
be squash actually, something like that.
Okay, all right, I like that. Aliens have landed and they want a tour. You're their guide. Where do you take them first and why?
Halfway out.
I knew you were going to say
We know
that.
that one.
I knew you were going to say that. Are we taking that as both answers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
100%. Now, you win £10 million, but you must spend it all today on an completely impractical things. What do you buy?
Impractical things.
Impractical things.
Oh.
Loads of parachutes with an old parachute.
We'll go with that. Lots of favourite foods. I don't know. Definitely got to be champagne in there somewhere.
All right, okay. You wake up and you're invisible for 24 hours. What's the first ridiculous thing that you do?
Skinny dipping.
Hey, you do that without being invisible when you're playing.
Oh, I leave Blaine
Don't
with
worry,
that
that's
one.
fine.
I think people can wonder on that one.
Yeah. He stole the show with that one. Then. If you could swap lives with anyone for a day, who would you choose? I've had so many different answers to this, from the Prime Minister to just so many different answers.
I'd keep it simple, Laura.
Okay.
Because I think
So-
she's what she does is brilliant.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
I think I'm pretty happy where we are. We're so blessed to have Halfway
Yeah,
House as
that's
part
what I
of
mean,
our
yeah.
day to day. We're on it, and we're just going to say
Yeah.
that we just welcome everybody to be part of that,
Yeah.
because we're so brilliantly up there.
100%.
Yeah.
If animals could talk, which species would be the rudest?
Kangaroo.
A kangaroo, yeah?
I'm going to say frog.
Hey. Ryan, what's the most ridiculous lie that you believed as a kid?
Tooth fairy,
See, it's
maybe?
hard on this, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
still real, though, isn't he?
Of course he is, yeah. For all the under 18s that are listening, of course,
No
of course
wonder
he
he's
is.
seen me for years. Been naughty.
He might be the tooth fairy for me.
Yeah, okay, all right. And the final one is, if aliens abducted you and asked, what's Earth like, what would you say?
I say Earth comes in many guises, and
Yeah.
different people, different situations. But at the end of the day, you keep the right heart, it'll be doing Earth and everybody in it good.
Love that.
Yeah.
Blaine,
I'll
what
go
you
with that
saying?
one,
You
mate.
backing that one up, yeah?
You can't beat that one.
Yeah, nah, great answer. Well, that brings us to the end of the show. How have you found it?
Yeah.
It's been amazing speaking to you. We thank you for the interview, and
all right.
hopefully we put some good information out there
Amazing.
for people.
Yeah, amazing answers.
And hopefully you're grasping the inspiration of Dribbz and people like him, and would love to come up to the halfway house for a chat with us.
And raise some money for some disadvantaged kids, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go with that one.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, this has been Blaine and Laura from Yellow Ribbon, and like I said, I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to come down, jumping in the hot seat. It's been great to learn about your stories and everything that you guys are striving to do. It's absolutely amazing, and I just hope that my listeners and surrounding people around Shropshire get behind this, because it's a worthy course. Find out more information, jump on Google and put in Yellow Ribbon. On there's a separate, because the Halfway House doesn't seem to have an official kind of website, does it?
Yeah,
you go through Yellow Ribbon and then select Halfway House.
You can actually, now it's been updated, so if you do Google Halfway House on the Wrekin, then
Yeah,
you'll
it
come
comes
up
up,
with the
yeah.
actual
Right,
Halfway
okay,
House.
so
Shows
Google
you all the
Halfway
events
House
and
on
that.
the Wrekin.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So that's how you find it. So if you want more information, check it out. And if you're not interested in looking for more information, just pass through the place and come and say hello and
Yeah,
look at all the
just-
wonderful
yeah.
things that they're doing.
Just come and have a brew.
Please do.
Come and have a brew, yeah, because Blaine makes a great brew. Okay? Dribbz said that, all right? So shouts to everyone that likes, shares. Can you give it a subscribe for me? It makes all the difference, because I'm trying to fight these algorithms on Facebook and social media, and is a day-to-day struggle on, let me tell you. But thank you so much to everyone that supports the podcast. We've got so many more exciting guests to come, and we are not done, far from it. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dribbz Talks podcast. We're bringing it to you real, raw and uncut. A safe place where we can talk about anything and everything. So like, share and subscribe. But most importantly, keep it locked. Everything's gonna be just fine. Everything's gonna be okay. Just take one step at a time. That's what the leaflets say.